Idiots. Go keep making your live service games. What's the one you just shut down? You shut down one recently. I don't remember what the hell it was called because no one played it. But go ahead and keep doing those live service games. Go ahead. How did that Ghost Recon live service game go? What's that? Nobody played it? Yeah, I remember. I remember. And that brings us to our game of the year for 2024. Basically, the best game that we played this year. Doesn't have to necessarily be something from 2024. Wes, would you like to begin, sir?
This is going to be interesting
To be
because
fair, we didn't talk
we
about
don't,
this ahead of time.
we did not. So we don't know what each other picked, but
That's
something
right.
tells me we might have picked the same game.
Maybe.
Maybe. But no, we never talked about it. So I don't know what his game of the year is. He doesn't know what mine is, but I'm going to kick it off. The best game that I played this year, my award goes to Prince of Persia,
The Lost Crown?
The Lost Crown.
Okay. All right.
That game was fantastic. And I tried not to show my enthusiasm earlier. That game was fantastic. It was perfect from beginning to end.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very good. The platforming was good. Parts of it were hard as hell. I think I was playing on
Yeah.
normal.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely was not playing on easy. I was playing on normal or hard. Couldn't tell you which one it was, but I beat that game. Let me check real quick. So I wrote that down in my doc. I beat that game exactly 94.69%. That last 5%,
Mm-hmm.
no thank you. I can't, no. Mm-mm. But that
Yeah.
94 point whatever, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Wes.
Oh, so good. Story was good. Animation was good. Graphics were good. Combat was spot on.
Combat was really cool, man. Really cool.
But that, like you said, it was tough. I had more trouble with the traps more so than the combat.
Like the instant kills, right? Like the
Those
all of a sudden,
blades
yeah.
and yeah, like those the traps were
Right.
I
But
man.
but when you
Mm-hmm.
hit one of those traps, boom, you're right back into the game, back to wherever your last little checkpoint or save point was, like, and you just try it again. It's not like brutal. It's not like great. I got to spend 15 minutes getting back to that point and then try it again. No, you're relatively where you need to be. So it's like not that big of a deal. Although
Yeah,
you may
but
have to try it 500 times. You're
that's the thing. You get if it's a pretty long trap you're trying to maneuver through
mm-hmm.
and you die, you got to do that all over again.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get like that burst, that I don't know what you call it, where you like, strive forward. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
the hell's that called? Where you like
Like a
move.
like a dash.
Yeah, like a dash. Thank you, Jesus. God, my mind is mush.
Mm,
Yeah, a dash when you dash forward and like you have to like drop down and then you have to like do a double jump and dude, you had
mm-hmm.
to do such perfect stuff in that game. So challenging, so challenging.
But so good, so good. It really upset me that Ubisoft labeled it as a failure, as good as that game was, and as all the reviewers gave it like a 10.
It got great reviews, but in the sales, they considered a failure based off of the sales.
Right. They had such high projections for it and it didn't meet it. And because of that, they killed the sequel that was initially greenlit and they broke up the team that developed it.
I don't think the sequel was greenlit. I think the team was like starting to like come up with like concept art and stuff like that, but then they disbanded the team like before anything could really get off the ground.
Oh, why? They gave us one of the best games in a long time.
I mean, their company's falling apart. Like they need money right now more than anything. And if this game costs them money, first of all, I just want to say this: I don't think there's any chance that game cost them money. Like, was it a pretty game? Yes, absolutely. But we're talking about like a 2D Metroidvania style game, not a 3D Prince of Persia that's AAA. That would have cost an enormous
Mm-hmm.
amount of money. They're two different scales. So if you're even thinking about bringing back Prince of Persia, this should have been your path forward, not a
Mm-hmm.
AAA, Prince of Persia game that's like 200,000 or sorry $200 million or something like that to make. Like, get out of here, get out of here.
Yeah, man. Ubisoft, but no, you release Star Wars Outlaws, please. But yeah, you know what? And it's the funny thing is, I wasn't sure how I was going to take to this game because it was a different style of the Prince of Persia that I was expecting. Again, I was expecting Sands of Time, 3D platformer running around, and then I got the 2D Metroidvania style, and I was like, eh. But at the same time, it kind of harkens back to the original Prince of Persia, where it was set in a castle with a whole bunch of traps and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, and loved it, loved it, loved it. So that's my game. I can't talk about it enough. It was, if you haven't played it, everybody should be playing it.
You should, absolutely.
Definitely one of the best games in 2024. Your turn.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is the best game that I played in 2024.
Okay.
It's I feel let's just talk about them disbanding the team. Like, just disgust. I couldn't, like, the game was so good, man. It was, and I this is somebody who's never really played a Prince of Persia game. Granted, I have, like, apparently all of them. Even some weird one on PS3 that didn't sell well. At least I don't think it did. That game was so unique and different,
Mm-hmm.
and it was exactly what I like in video games. For the most part, I like that, and like Zelda likes and stuff like that. Uh, to get a new game that was that superior, and to not basically, we know there's never going to be a sequel. Like, at least if
Mm-mm.
there is a sequel, so much time will have to pass, and that property may have to exchange hands outside of Ubisoft to somebody else in order for us to see a sequel to that game again. Like, we're talking probably a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. I'm not saying years, I'm saying decades, by the way. Very clear.
Mm.
You're not getting a sequel to this game anytime soon or ever. Period.
Yeah, because you figure this was the first Prince of Persia game since Xbox 360.
Yeah, they made one on 360 and PS3 that was
That
just
Jake
called Prince of
that
Persia, and it was cell shaded.
that Jake Gyllenhaal one, the one based
But
off that
that one was different. I was talking about the cell shaded one, but they came. I don't know which one came out last.
the the Jake Gyllenhaal one came out last.
Okay.
That the Forgotten Sands, or I think it's called.
Yes.
Yep. No, the cell shaded one was okay.
Okay.
Coming off of like the Sands of Time trilogy, it was okay. And then you had the Forgotten Sands, which it was fine. But this was the Lost Kingdom, or
Lost Crown.
the Lost Crown. That's something totally different. Oh man, it was so good.
Yeah, the combat, the music. The one thing I could say that they could have used some improvement was, like, maybe like the voice acting could have gotten a little bit better. The story was pretty good. There's probably a little bit of opportunity there too, but as I mentioned in the very beginning of this, if you're still with us from the very beginning of this show, gameplay matters most to me. And the gameplay, when every time you die in this game, it is your fault. 100% you messed up. There's no
Yeah,
question about it.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. 100%. And I love the power ups that he got.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. You change those out of that tree, and then there was that what the hell was that thing called? It was like a giant or something that had like that amulet. The
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is it called? What the hell? The forge. You go to the forge. Thank you, my brain from a while ago. And you get those new stuff from there as well. Definitely some cool stuff, man.
And then fighting different enemies gave you different abilities,
Mm-hmm.
like the dash,
Yep. Get the double
like
jump.
the double jump, like the shadow, like leaving a shadow of yourself that you can teleport to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of those are really cool. I mean, I know the double jump is very standard. Even the dash is pretty standard at
Mhm,
most things, but they just did it right, man. They just did basically everything in the game right on their first attempt.
mhm.
Can you imagine how much better a second attempt? I can't. I can't even. Dude, it hurts to think about it. It hurts. And in case you guys are wondering, why did I not pick Tears of the Kingdom? Because that would have been my number two pick. It was too much of like Breath of the Wild. Like it was a true sequel, and this was like nothing before it, right? Sure, it like took inspiration from Metroidvanias. I understand that, but this was a new property, right? Breath of the Wild blew everyone's mind because it was a new property. Tears of the
Mhm.
Kingdom didn't have that same pop because of that. It was like, oh, dude, it's Breath of the Wild times 1,000. It was a way better version, but this was new and different and exciting. And Ubisoft's like, no, sorry, idiots. Go keep making your live service games. What's the one you just shut down? You shut down one recently. I don't remember what the hell it was called because no one played it. But go ahead and keep doing those live service games. Go ahead. How did that Ghost Recon live service game go? What's that? Nobody played it? Yeah, I remember. I remember.
And they still didn't give me my Beyond Good and Evil.
Wes, give it up, man.
I
It's,
know.
Ubisoft's going to be sold to somebody this year, most likely. And if you're lucky, they'll have enough capital to pump that thing out. But it just might be dead and gone, sir.
I don't see Ubisoft being around too much longer because the decisions they're making are just idiotic and makes no sense. And
How do you have to have like make budget conscious games, like make smaller games like this that like appeal to maybe not a mass audience, but enough people who are there that are going to preach you from the heavens that your game is a critical darling, like everyone
Mhm.
needs to check out. That's how you guys got Rayman off the ground. Like Rayman was like whatever on PS1, but then you made Legends, right? And Legends was awesome. And you made, whatever the other one was. There was Rayman Legends, Rayman. I'm not going to remember. But you made another Rayman game that was fantastic, right? You made Child of Light. You made incredible first person, or I'm sorry, single player games.
Mhm.
And now you're so focused on live service, like, oh, let's make another one of these, another one of these. They're going to continue to fail, just so you guys know.
Pretty much. I mean, the only shining spot that I could see Ubisoft giving us is Splinter Cell whenever that decides to come out.
I have no faith in that either. Like, yeah,
I gotta have some hope.
the last great game I played from them was, well, Prince of Persia, right?
Prince of Persia.
But before that would have been Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and that was probably like 5 years ago. I mean, even
Mm.
5 years ago, they were in a different position than they're right now.
Yeah, it's like I had Mirage, and I heard Mirage was good. It kind of harkened back to the original, like what Assassin's Creed used to be. I haven't. I started it, didn't really get very far because I started playing something else like right after.
Yeah, I never
So,
played Mirage. Is one of the few Assassin's Creed games I never played, and it's
mm,
something I will play eventually.
mm.
But I got so addicted to like the Odyssey style that I was like, "Oh, you're bringing it back? Like, I don't want that now. You gave me this. Why would I want that?"
But we do get the Ninja one coming out next year
True.
or this year.
It's this year. It'll be in February, I think. Well, there's our game of the year pick, guys. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I don't know that you're ever going to see me and Wes align on something again. Just so you guys know, like our tastes are very different for the most part.
They are.
So this is shocking. It should be shocking. Uh, but yeah, a fantastic game. Please make sure you guys go check that out.